So, very much like last year, these back-to-back recordings are getting to me a bit, and kind of like falling out of the loop again and whatnot. And, like stuff always just kind of happens. It seems to kind of just happen and go wrong. Like yesterday, if you saw yesterday's video, my little brother knocked the camera down and went tumbling down. And yeah, there's no editing on this channel, so if I screwed up, I would have to record all over again. And I'm not gonna record 15. I'm not gonna re-record 15 freaking minutes with my little brother again. But yeah, but like I was saying on the other days, that I'm not always gonna have like figures or posters or even merchandise for all the shows and all the characters that I'm talking about. Like for like even if they're like super popular and like everybody it's well known. Like it's well known, but it's not like well known enough to be given like figures and posters and whatnot. Like the most posters you'll probably get are like uh, these No Game No Life and Assassination Classroom posters, and then that Tokyo Ghoul poster that I have up here in the corner. That's kind of like on this wall, not over here. It's isolated for a reason. But like these those posters were like all fan made, like fan drawings and whatnot that were made, and I purchased them, and now they're up on my wall. So, and they're just kind of like decorations for my YouTube video at this point. But like they're pretty cool arts. If I could find their business card, I would put like all their links and everything in the description, because I have the business cards and I have them all, but like I have about 40 business cards for it. Seriously, from years of AX, I have so many business cards. But like I was saying, I'm not always gonna have merchandise for all these videos that I do, because for today's, I'm doing on Tonari no Seki-Kun, the master of killing time. And it's like, I resonate with Seki, because we're both kind of the ones that goof off in class. Like, when I was in high school, I would take my Game Boy Color with me, and I would like physically play in class. Like, look at this little Pichu charm that I have. Oh, Pichu, not shared Pichu. I had to do it with my, I had to make a deal with my Japanese Pop Culture Club to get one of these saved for me and my buddy. So, like, there was like 10 of them. No, there was like 8 of them, actually. There was 8 Pichus, but only 2 not shared Pichus, and the rest were like a shiny Pichu. But it's like, it's a notch-eared, which is rarer than shiny. But anyway, off topic. But yeah, like, I would take my Game Boy Color to school, and like I would play like during class. Like I would pull it out during my science class, and I'd just be like, and that would just be me like almost the entire class period. And like it was like on all my classes, like I would pull it out at some point in time, and I just start playing it. And it's like that's why I resonate with Seki-Kun. But however, plot twist. Seki is not my favorite character of Tonari no Seki-Kun. It's actually Yokoi-san. And it's a lot from the fact that like I get an outsider's perspective on what it is to to sit next to someone like me who would straight up just play video games in class. And like it wasn't limited to my Game Boy Color. Like the school had laptops for the students to use. And whenever we would get a chance to use them, I had downloaded Tetris onto mine, so I would always play Tetris whenever we had those laptops. So that's how I was such a bad student. And like sometimes I would take it a step further than just like Tetris. Like I'd bring like full on like stuffed animals with me. Like it was either a wolf or like a llama or something. I'd just be like, Mom said it's my turn to be the bad student. I was so bad. And like I feel bad now, like thinking about it now, like all my partners for like all my different classes, like they probably were just kind of like the hell is wrong with this kid? Like, I had one friend, she was super chill about it and everything. And she'd be like, oh, so that's what you're doing today. And she was like so quiet about it too. She was just like, hey, did you finish the notes? Do you need the notes? I have the notes. Do you want to borrow the notes? I'm like, you are a godsend, woman. Please, let me borrow your notes. I was one of those like students that was like super goofy and whatnot, and all the teachers knew me for being goofy, but like they also knew me because I did all my work and everything. And like it's interesting too, because like even in my clubs, I was the goofy weird one, because I was in my school's boys league, and for our boys league picture, I took it in the boys league shirt that we had, that we had purchased. I took it in that, so it would have the logo of our boys league right there. But then there was just me standing there with my Ruby blanket like this. It's like I had Yang full on showing over here, and I just kind of had like Ruby off to the side right here. But you could see it in the yearbook picture, and it's just like everybody's like all dressed like they're all dressed in their shirts. They're all like this, and then you just see me. And it was like our advisor was like, "So that's what you're going with, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not taking it off. There's nothing you can do to make me take it off. I'm part of this club, and you're stuck with it." Bang. Luckily for me, our advisor was super into anime too, so I can get away with stuff like that. But yeah, Yokoi-san is one of my favorite characters just for the reason that it shows like the voice of reason, the sanity that like gets dragged into our insanity for students like me who just randomly play games in class. Like I didn't go to the extent of like drawing lines on my desk and making like full on shogi stories with versus shogi and chess and whatnot. I didn't go that far, but like I would bring like video games and stuff. I think there was a point in time where I took like an entire like deck of playing cards, like an actual like deck of playing cards, you know, like the ace of spades, the two of diamonds, the three of hearts, and all that, like that kind of deck of cards, like this kind of deck of cards. Like I would straight up just bring those kinds of deck of cards, and I would just play cards in class with other people. And then I remember one time I played Yu-Gi-Oh in the middle of class. Like I was such a bad student, and my teachers hated it, but they like couldn't complain because I was like getting good grades and stuff, and like I think that's what made them more mad that I was getting good grades, even though I was like super slacking off in class. Like, but yeah, like Yokoi-san really gives us that perspective of that kind of like voice of reason, the sanity voice behind the insanity, and like I appreciate that. Like it really reminds me a lot of my friend and the way that she just kind of like handled me like being weird and everything, and she looked out for me a lot, and I really appreciate her. I had to tell her, someday that I really appreciate her for doing that. But yeah, Yokoi-san. And if you guys haven't seen Tonari no Seki-Kun, I would suggest like watching Tonari no Seki-Kun. And it's like, it's funny because in the intro, it's like, it shows you like all the weird stuff that he would do during class and whatnot. It gets even funnier when you get like around halfway through the intro. He starts animating like he starts animating the intro, so it's just like what the hell? Like he gets so meta with it and everything. It's hilarious, and he starts like doing storyboarding and everything, and it's like I'm like, oh my god, Seki is me. Like I would do that. Like if I had the opportunity to, I would do that too. Like that's straight up like something I would do. Uh, but like it's genius. It's genius. Like it really shows like the side like, hey, there's some students that really do just like to like goof off a bit in class, and you don't even like the teachers don't even realize it, and because like they have such good partners that don't like immediately rat them out, and like when they do, like we're just kind of like super slick about it, and like just kind of like stuff it away like really quick. Like there was one time where I was playing, and for some reason I had just naturally like just gone like this to my Game Boy and put it in my lap underneath the desk, and I started writing. The teacher was like right here, coming from the other side of like my partner's desk and everything, and the teacher was like right behind me when like I started like writing down notes and everything, and they're like, "Oh, so you're keeping up? I thought you were just messing around." I'm like, "Damn, That was super risky. I could have gotten it taken away. I was such a bad student, but I was like, yeah, I got my work done, and that's all that matters is that I got my work done. But yeah, Yokoi-san, kind of like the voice of reason and everything to the insanity of Seki, and yeah, like that's honestly why Yokoi-san is one of my favorite because it shows me like an outsider's perspective of the going ons from the Masters of Killing Time and everything, and it's just hilarious, like, because it shows like they try so hard to like avoid getting roped in, but sometimes it's just not possible. Like there are times where our desks would get together, and I would look to my partner and I'd tell her, I'd be like, "Hey, you want to play Tetris with me? Like I'll go and I'll set a high score, and then you try and beat it." She'd be like, "I really think we should do that." Okay, and she would like show a little resistance. She'd be like, "I really think we should do that." Okay. And then she would set her high score and everything, and it was just that cool little back and forth right there. So like, yeah, we kind of just get other people involved naturally, not even like maliciously doing it. We're just like, hey, you want to like kind of do this with us? Oh, but yeah, that's why Yokoi-san's one of my favorite. That voice of sanity behind the insanity. So I have nothing else to say on Yokoi-san. Like, if you're looking, I'm wearing my Kirito is always right foundation shirt, and I didn't even talk about sword art. I'm never gonna talk about sword art. Never. Not on this channel. Not unless I get my buddy to do a video with me, which I doubt I will. But anyway, this has been Vashdale signing out, and I will see you guys in the next one. And remember, this too shall pass. See ya.